All right, welcome to the Tuesday show tonight. I'm Ultra David, that's James.
How's everybody going?
Tonight we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. There are lots of things on the menu over here. We're going to start off with Dreamhack and Coney.
Yes.
And then we're also going to talk about, of course, Capcom apparently not putting itself up for sale, but kind of making that a possibility.
Well, all right, welcome to... Ooh, okay.
Also MLG, also Evo Indie Showcase, also Wednesday Night Fights, NLBC, and some other crap, but we'll get there.
Sounds good, good. All right, so...
Just jump into the results, I guess. You want to start off with King of New York?
Did you want to do King of New York or Dreamhack?
Dreamhack it is. You seem like you want to do Dreamhack first. So.
No, I mean, because that's what you named first, right? So I was like, oh, I guess we're going to talk about... any case.
Whatever. So Dreamhack, big old tournament up in Sweden.
Yes.
It's a major.
It's one of the Capcom Pro Tour Premier events, right? Mm-hmm. So whoever wins this one automatically qualifies into the Pro Tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, and they had a lot of people from out of country stop by.
Yeah, absolutely, which is how it normally goes at Dreamhack. They have people from all over Europe, but then a lot of people go from elsewhere as well. So top 8, I guess we'll start at the bottom of the top 8. Phenom with Bison, Yagami with Bison. Those were tied for 7th place. 5th places were Skatan with Chun-Li, Elena, and Sakura, and Will Tupac with Viper. 4th place was Poppy with Yun and Cammy. 3rd place was Problem X with Viper and Seth. Gamer B, 2nd place, Adon, Yun, Evil Ryu. Wow, that's a lot. Infiltration, won the whole thing. Akuma, Ryu, Chun.
Yeah, what actually surprises me is that Ryan Hart is sitting in 9th.
9th place.
Luffy sitting tied at 13th.
Right, yeah, Luffy got sent out of winner's bracket first round by Ixion Dan. The Dan player.
Obviously one of those two characters got overbuffed in Ultra, right? So
he ended up running into a Geef Ixion, which is a pretty tough match. So.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Ryan Hart outside of top 8. Now he did play a lot of T-Hawk, and he said that he didn't feel like he was fully prepared and stuff, so he played a lot of Hawk.
Gotcha,
I guess that didn't go that great. Well, at least for his lofty standards. So Infiltration won the whole thing, largely with Akuma. There's a little bit of Ryu, a little bit of Chun.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, interestingly enough, I heard Gamer B, who hates Akuma, he hates the Adon Akuma match, actually sent Infiltration to losers 3-0.
He did.
In winners finals,
finals, yep.
And then Infiltration came back and beat him.
It was a blow-up, yeah. It was Yun. It was Yun for Gamer B. Yun's been his pick against Akuma for a while now, actually.
Yeah,
quite a while, even before all these buffs, obviously, in Ultra SF4. So, yeah, he beat Infiltration 3-0, very convincing.
With Yun.
With Yun, very convincing. In Grand Finals, after Infiltration beat Problem X, he takes the first game. Gamer B takes the first game. And then after that, it was just Infiltration.
Oh, no.
He won like 4 or 5 straight rounds at points. Like, he figured everything out.
I mean, it sounds a lot like it was at the Capcom 25th. You remember when Daigo sent Infiltration to losers, and then all of a sudden Infiltration comes back and wins 6-0, right? So, I mean, I know Gamer B was really sad about it.
He was definitely sad.
Yeah.
But you could see Infiltration kind of feeling out his opponent really, really well. He got awesome reads, right? So I remember the first round, Gamer B puts himself at kind of neutral situation and then just does up kicks, right? He does like lunge punch into up kicks or whatever, twice. And then the third time, he gets grabbed. Infiltration, like rather than being taught, he just was like, I'm gonna do my thing.
I'm just gonna keep doing it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it was really convincing.
And now Infiltration is qualified. I mean, he looked. Dude, I love the pictures where they're all holding the checks. Because they're all standing there and Infiltration's just like leaning on his. I don't know, like was he jet lagged or something? Or is he just being
seemed to work
silly
out
now?
In any case.
But,
what do you think about Akuma? Okay, Akuma, the Vortex isn't as good, right? Okay, let's put that out there.
Okay.
But other than that, cancelable Stand Fierce, I feel like, is one of the best buffs in this game.
So, it's not only just cancelable Stand Fierce. I mean, it sounds like, okay, now I can cancel the Fireball at ranges, so it always combos. I can FADC, whatever. Dude, I've seen videos where it looks like there is no distance at which Stand Fierce connects that you cannot combo into Red Focus.
Right, yeah, because he goes so far forward.
Right, so
focus.
it's like, even if I'm like, and hit you barely with the tip of my fingers, it's red focus. So he gets stand fierce, red focus, punish easily. I think that buff was amazing.
So I'm serious. One of the best buffs in the game.
Yeah, I mean, see, the funny thing about it is I honestly feel like a lot of what they did to Ultra was like, let's just take everything that we did in Cross Tekken and pull it over. Because he got that in the patch for Cross Tekken as well, the stand fierce, right? So I was like, it feels like they just brought it over to Ultra, and dude, it's so good. It's
Demon
so
Flip to Fireball,
good.
he used that all the time. He used Demon Flip to EX Fireball all the time.
Okay.
That was like a good percentage of all the meter he used.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize one of the things that makes that so good is you can have someone in block stun while you're already halfway up the air to do EX Fireball. Like, even if you could just normally jump EX Fireball, sure, that's great, but if I can cancel Fierce, put you in Fierce block stun, then go in the air and throw EX Fireballs at you, you have to block them. Like, you have to respect them at that point, so...
It's so good. I kind of can't believe that they did that. But yeah. So, okay. Anything else?
But I am happy to say that I'm glad they didn't over-nerf a lot of these characters.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
The only thing that really surprises me is Luffy getting 13th.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question. How is Dan versus Rose back in 2012? Like, what did you think of that match?
I think Rose wins it. It's not like a blow-up match, but I would say Rose wins, yeah.
Okay. Because, I mean, Rose got buffed a lot.
Rose got buffs.
And to see Luffy actually do worse in Ultra than he normally does, because he's always a top 3 finisher in Europe tournaments. I don't know. I'm really surprised by that. Yeah. But maybe just a lot of new things, a lot of new shenanigans maybe to get used to. Who knows? So,
I don't know. That would be really interesting to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else about the Dreamhack?
Other than, I think now Infiltration is officially qualified, because he hadn't qualified for Capcom Pro Tour yet. He had just been building up points. Well, yeah, because he did not win Final Round, and he did not win NCR, that's right, because PR Balrog beat him there. So yeah, I think now he's officially qualified.
Okie doke.
Yep.
All right. So also this past weekend there was an event in New York called the King of New York, the A-League.
T-Coney.
Yeah, T-Coney, yeah. And it's Street Fighter 4, and there was everybody played everybody. It was the first to 5.
Yeah, first to 5 with
sets.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the interesting thing about this was that it got delayed so long.
Yeah.
That they finally played, and it's Ultra.
It's a different game.
Yeah, which is, I think, kind of a shame. Like, it would have been nice to have seen them all finish off AE 2012 to determine the King of New York, and then go on. You know, but it doesn't matter. I mean, all the players in there are super good. I'm sure they would have done... I'm sure the results wouldn't have been very different.
Yeah, they might not have been. Yeah. So, okay, the 8 players were Shine with Gouken and Yang. This is just going to be... sorry. I just got a text from a viewer. It was just a ranking event. Dreamhack Winter was the premier event.
Oh, gotcha.
Thanks,
okay,
viewer.
Awesome.
Unknown viewer. So top 8, I guess I'll start from the bottom. Like I said, Shine, Gouken, and Yang got 8th place. He went 1 and 6. Then was EMP Hyro, Duran with Bison. Went 1 and 5.
That's interesting. How did they play less games? Must have been a tiebreaker or something, or...
That's a good question. I'm not sure the answer to that.
It just seems like Duran
some people played 6
and Arturo are the only people who played 6.
I'm not sure.
The numbers might be wrong. Who knows?
Very possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, Rico with Abel got 6th. He went 2 and 5. Then came Sabin, Arturo Sanchez with Dalsum and Rose. He went 2 and 4. But he's above Rico because I guess he went 2 and 4, not 2 and 5.
Right.
Whatever. 4th place was Sanford Kelly with Sagat and Oni. He went 5 and 2. 3rd place with Dudley was Smug, also 5 and 2. 2nd place was Zeus with Vega. He also went 5 and 2. And then Dominion won the whole thing with Guile. He went 6-1.
I mean, I heard from some people that if you actually take a lot of the like the tie-breaking rules, technically Smug was 2nd or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure exactly because I know he won the heads up with. He did lose the Zeus though, so I don't know what the tiebreaker between those two would have been. but someone was listing me like the number of points, and supposedly Smug had more points than Zeus. I don't know what that means, but if Zeus beats Smug, then I feel like he should get the tiebreaker versus him, right? So.
Well, I'm looking at the match log right now, and it says that Hyro and Arturo did not play their match, as you can see, in round 7.
Oh, okay. Nice, okay.
That makes sense then. So I'm trying to look for who Dominion lost to. Wow, he 5-0'd Arturo. Who did Dominion lose to?
Dominion.
Oh, he lost to Smug, 5-3.
Interesting. Okay. Nice. But I mean, okay. So, what do you think of the results? I mean, obviously, a lot of us were very hyped. I was hyped for this event a lot. And I felt like it was once Sanford pulled out and then he came back in.
So talk about that story.
Yeah, so basically, Sanford was kind of the one calling out New York, and Pi trash talking Sanford, calling him, I guess yesterday's, champion or whatever,
right.
kind of implying that, right? And so they made this, match with 6 guaranteed people in there and 2 people that would qualify through the B-League qualifiers.
Yes.
They finally got the B-League qualifiers. They got the 2 people, and that was Duran and Shine. And they got into that tournament, and then right before the tournament came on, Sanford pulls out. He says, I'm not going to do King of New York anymore. So now then there was this contest, or a vote, to see who would replace Sanford. And a lot of people were angry because it's like, why do we vote? We had a B-League tournament. Let's get somebody. And then Sanford put himself back in it. And so I just feel like that kind of... I mean, look, I know a lot of people are going to go in on Sanford, in chat and everything like that. I've always stuck up for the guy.
That's true, yeah.
I really like Sanford as a player. And, even I told him I just didn't feel like that was the right thing to do. It really kind of brought this to the event. You know what I mean? And that kind of made me sad. And, if he was just in it the whole time, let's go, I feel like the hype would have been a little bit stronger. Because let's face it, the premier match was Sanford versus Smug. That was the match that everyone wanted to see, right?
Okay.
So, and that match was awesome, by the way. If you haven't had a chance, I know Spooky's uploaded already, so definitely take a watch of that. That was really, really good, very close set. But, I mean, if your whole goal is to level up your city, I've talked to Sanford on Twitter about it. He's all about leveling up everybody. He's trying to help the community in New York. Let's, do it, and you do it by beating people. That's just the way it works, right? Eddie Lee upped the community up a long time ago by beating everyone. Same thing with Vi. And nowadays, like in New York, how did everyone get better? It was because Justin beat everybody, and everybody was trying to fight him, right? I mean... That's just the way it works. So, hopefully they'll keep doing more King of New York events, and Sanford will be on board, like, full bore for all of them. So
yeah, I kind of thought it sucked. I was disappointed. I was really disappointed that happened. And I thought it also sucked that he was allowed to get back in. I mean, if you pull out, dude, like, see ya. I mean, he's, like you said, everybody wanted to see him play, so I understand them putting him back in. I just wish that look, I wanted him to play, but if he didn't want to play, don't play.
Right. Exactly. So,
whatever.
But I will say this, not a surprise to me that Dominion won it.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's a surprise either.
And the other thing I really want to point out, I read this, and it stuck out to me. I don't know where in the check in which round did Zeus and Smug play each other.
Okay.
Which round did Zeus and Smug play each other? It was in round 3. It looks like.
Yeah, it was in round 3 right here.
So interestingly enough, I mean, I guess they didn't know their records, but a lot of people were talking about how good it was that they obviously played their fullest. I mean, because there could have been a little bit of collusion there because they're both Team Pi. If Zeus actually did not beat Smug, if Smug beat Zeus, he would have won because he had the tiebreaker with Dominion because he beat Dominion. So a lot of people were pointing out it was really cool that even though they're the same team that they actually played, and Zeus didn't let up or anything like that. So I think that's really cool. So shout outs to Team Pi on that one. So
it's interesting to see Guile, I think, in the new game because he was a little nerfed in some ways. And of course, flash kick FADC -5, getting counter hit if he gets hit during sonic booms, things like that. But he got buffed in like the overall gameplay sense, right? Like delayed wake up is in there. It's more of a neutral game kind of game than it was before, which definitely plays into that character's strength. So it was cool to see Dominion play. Vega, I've said since the final Ultra buffs were out that I think Vega is a problem character. It's so good.
Yeah, I agree.
That character is amazing. Dudley for Smug. Smug has always made Dudley look good, and he really thinks Dudley is a very, very good character.
Yeah, I know.
Now, so.
And it's just like the fact that he's thought that he was like high tier or at least like top mid tier in 2012 blows my mind. But then you watch him play, and it's just like, I mean, it's hard to argue when you watch him play.
He backs it up. Shout outs to Arturo for doing pretty well with Dalsum still. I don't know how you're doing it, buddy, but good job.
Do you know if he used mostly Dalsum or did he use mostly Rose?
I think it was more Dalsum than Rose. Okay. The matches that I saw him play, I think it was Rose. It was Rose versus Rico, which makes sense. And I think other than that, he just played Sim.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Go Arturo.
Oh no, he played Rose against Guile for a little bit, but that didn't. Neither character worked out.
Interesting. Okay, because I always thought Rose was really good against Guile, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But then, I mean, we say this about so many other people. Dominion is just, he's like, you know how like every time we talk about Snake Eyes, Zangief versus Sagat, where he's like, he makes this look like unfair to Sagat. Yeah. Dominion does that with every bad matchup for Guile too.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
Well, anything else to say about either of those?
Nope. I think that's good, so.
Apparently Arturo was the one who uploaded it.
It's on Team Spooky's channel, I believe.
Yeah, but it's like Team Spooky After Dark or whatever.
Oh, is there?
It's called something like that.
I see. Okay, my bad. I saw Team Spooky. I just assumed it was the same thing. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so break time, I guess. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about, I don't know, maybe the Capcom thing, maybe MLG. One of those.
Everything.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game time decision.
All right. Be right back.
Welcome back to the show. So let's move on now to talk about recent Capcom news. Some pretty big news, actually.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot of people have been talking about buying Capcom. And that is because, I guess, it's Capcom still privately owned, right? I think it's still a family-owned corporation or something like that. So they must have had some sort of shareholder thing to prevent them from being bought out or something like that.
But, I had no idea it was family-owned. That's interesting.
I think it is. I might be wrong on that one. I mean,
I have no idea.
Sure, but
interesting.
I guess they had a clause where they couldn't get bought out or something. But at the most recent shareholders meeting, that clause was.
So it's a public corporation, so shareholders meeting.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Okay. So it got defeated, and now Capcom can be bought out.
Right.
So that means really nothing.
Yeah, right. It doesn't mean that they're for sale. That's not what it means. It means that maybe this is the start to a path that could lead to them being for sale. Mm-hmm. That's a possibility. But as far as immediate stuff goes, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change anything. Just that they're rife for the pickings, I guess, by a company that is willing to buy enough shares to own 51% of their stocks.
Right.
So, yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Stocks means that there's not family owned.
Right.
I don't know, but I remember hearing something like the CEO or something like that.
I mean, they can still have a large stake in it.
Yeah, I don't remember how it works exactly. Okay.
Whatever.
But in any case.
So, what do you think about this news? I mean, just keeping in mind that it just means that they could be potentially on the path.
Right.
But I don't know. What does it mean for you?
I mean, to be honest with you, from my standpoint, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't think anything's going to happen, right?
Okay.
But it's kind of odd that this is coming on the heels of that past rumor that Tencent was going to buy them.
Right.
Remember?
I recall.
Riot's parent company, basically, right? And, maybe if Tencent really did have any interest, they could just kind of go yoink now, because goodness knows they have the cash for it, right? So, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of people have been speculating different things. I mean, obviously there's a couple of, I think, really smart moves that other companies could do by considering buying it out, you know? One of the biggest jokes that I've seen was Disney buying it out, so then Marvel wouldn't be a license problem anymore,
right, yeah.
And we could finally patch Marvel 3.
Right, yeah. Although, if Disney owns your game, I don't know if it's going to be run in tournaments in the first place. I don't know if they're okay with that. They tend to be very litigious and protective. So.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. What do you think about the news?
It doesn't make that much difference to me, frankly.
Right.
I don't consider myself a Capcom loyalist, really. I've certainly liked some of their games a lot, of course. Some of my favorite games of all time. But I guess... So say that they get sold. Does anybody think that that would be the end of Street Fighter? Or the end... Well, I guess I was going to say the end of Mega Man, but...
Too late for that one.
But, things like that. It's going to be Dead Rising. Like that. All that stuff's going to be...
Yeah.
They're not going to give that up, because you're not going to buy Capcom and then get rid of its best IPs.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, just as a lot... I mean, like, for example, I think it's Sony bought MGM. So MGM technically doesn't really exist anymore, but they still keep it around. And like the James Bond movies still have the lions in front because it's like iconic for those movies now. Just because someone buys Capcom doesn't mean Capcom goes away. They can just keep the entirety of Capcom as it is. They're just owned by... I mean, Riot. We only talk about Riot. No one talks about Tencent, right? They're not named Tencent. They're named Riot. So if Tencent even bought Capcom, they could just leave Capcom pretty much alone. So... Although, like, I was talking about, like, which companies might benefit from buying them, and I know a lot of people will be scared of this, and I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this is a good thing, but I think it would be smart for Nintendo to really look at Capcom, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I really, really think it would be smart of Nintendo, because they've partnered before. Yeah. When the GameCube came out, they put all those exclusive games on there, which didn't really work out. But, I mean, they had Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be, Killer 7 and all this stuff like that.
Hey, Mega Man is in Smash.
Yeah, they let Capcom make the Oracle of Time and Oracle of Sages Zelda games on the Game Boy. I actually think it would be smart for Nintendo to try to grab them. But I'm kind of looking at it from a different perspective. Like, one of the things that I think would be interesting is that Nintendo has been talking about maybe branching out to mobile market, like making iPhone games or something like that, not just only on their console. If they bought Capcom, it would kind of give them a little doorway into that. Like, what if they bought Capcom, left Capcom as it is, and started making games for, like, other platforms?
As Capcom.
As Capcom, right. It's just to kind of test the waters to see if it's lucrative to go in that direction. They don't necessarily have to make Mario games on Xbox, because that would be like having Sonic on the cover of Nintendo Power, which is completely happened. But it would be weird to have Nintendo games on other consoles. But if they released it under the guise of Capcom and stuff like that, they could kind of use it as kind of like a shield at first. You know what I mean? Doesn't make it look like that they're instantly selling out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I don't know. It would be kind of interesting. It would be bad because obviously then would Street Fighter only be on the Wii U and nothing else?
And would Street Fighter get balanced by somebody who, when confronted by a top player of his game, says, "Have you made a game before?"
Dude.
Like Sakurai did.
So I was, on Twitter. I'm not even joking about this, but if I was joking about buying Capcom, but I'm not joking about the fact that if I made the next Mega Man game, it would just sell billions of dollars, right? It would be the best Mega Man game ever created, right? So it would be. And
okay, go on.
But dude, I just totally lost my train of thought now. You distracted me. No, but I mean, like, if I made the next Mega Man game, it would sell like ridiculous amounts. So shoot, Oh, that's right. And I tweeted that. that. I forgot what we were talking about, but someone reminded me on there.
Okay.
And as soon as I tweeted that, someone's like, "Have you ever balanced a game? Have you ever made a game before, like Sakurai did?" And this story is completely gone now, so never mind.
Thanks, James.
This is what happens when you're old. Never mind. Now I really am that old man just rambling and not really talking about anything anymore. But yeah, no, seriously, I would make an awesome Mega Man game. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna see how long it was until it was my turn.
Go on.
Okay, thanks.
I'm just gonna face palm here for a while.
Anything else to talk about re Capcom?
I mean, obviously, the news that Ono left Capcom Vancouver. Again, I don't think that means anything. He said that he's still with Capcom. I just think that he just doesn't want to work on Dead Rising games anymore. But I don't know. That DLC was like the best name ever. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, you know my position on that guy. I would be not upset if he just left entirely. Really feel like that might be for the best anyway.
Yeah.
And as far as Capcom and Street Fighter goes, I feel like they're already kind of not making it anyway. They're already like farming it out.
Yeah, I guess
so,
it's
like,
true. It is Dimps mostly,
whatever.
right? That
Yeah.
made Street Fighter 4, so fair enough, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. What else is going on? What else is coming up?
Okay, so this coming weekend is MLG Anaheim.
That's right.
In Anaheim. That's the name. Yes. And there are going to be a few games there as far as fighting games are concerned. There's going to be Smash. There's going to be Injustice. There's going to be Killer Instinct. I've been critical of MLG in the past, as you well know.
Yes.
But I'm going to be commentating for Injustice.
That's right. Yes.
They wanted me to do Injustice and Killer Instinct. I told them I don't know enough about Killer Instinct to do it justice. So they ended up getting another guy, Godspeed, who knows the game really well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Godspeed's going to be doing it, yeah.
Nice.
I'll be commentating with Tom Brady, and Rip is going to be in there too. I guess kind of doing both of those games also.
I mean, do they have someone
Injustice
going
and
with God? Oh, so Rip is going to be doing KI as
yeah,
well,
I think so.
Okay,
I think I'm the only one not doing KI, actually.
Oh, really? Is
I'm
Tom
not
Brady
sure.
doing KI?
I guess we'll see. I have no idea.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm doing it because they seem like they're trying to be more community-based, and I've talked with people from other game communities too, and they kind of get the same sense also. And so, okay, if they are, then that's great. I mean, there's no like inherent conflict. It's just like there was a conflict because of how MLG was operating.
Right.
So if they're not going to operate like that anymore, okay, great. So I'm going to try this out. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes great.
Okay, cool.
We will see.
But I mean, obviously there's a lot of money on the line for these events that are coming up, and Smash is already like, I think they said that it's going to be like the third biggest event in Smash history, I think, or something like that. Or
yeah?
I read somewhere, someone said that it sounds like there's a lot of people that are going to be in it. I mean, yeah, so I mean that's going to be really cool. They got a lot of very, very strong Smash players in there. Smash, of course, has been in MLG before. They've always been supportive of MLG, so a lot of them are going there this weekend.
Right.
In fact, Mewtwo King was here for E3, and I don't think he's ever left SoCal because he was just at Super Smash Sunday this past weekend. Okay. Yeah. And dude, did you hear about that tournament, dude?
I actually did not.
So they had a 24-hour lock-in at Super Arcade for Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And it was like at 3 in the morning or whatever where they started a singles tournament, and they had like 60 entrants in it.
Wow.
Like it was ridiculous. Like they all showed up for this event, and it was a huge tournament. There was a huge prize bonus for that as well. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, it's really, really cool. Smash seems to be just hitting it out of the park right now.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for them.
I totally agree.
And also, I mean, I guess a little chance just to kind of soapbox a little bit here, because I know a lot of people were talking about Smash 4 after E3, saying that, you know, people who played it feels a little laggy, you know, like jump moves have a lot of delay when they land, and it's not quite as fast as Melee and stuff. But coming from the Street Fighter community, where we went from games like Super Turbo, which are just ridiculously fast, to much slower games, even to something like Street Fighter 4. Right. You know, the whole key, in my opinion, right now is not to approach Smash 4 hoping that it is Melee 2.
Yeah,
know?
Right.
They already did this for Brawl, and you know what? Brawl had its own problems, obviously tripping and stuff like that, right? But there's a huge opportunity. Nintendo obviously cares a little bit more about the competitive aspect of it, so hopefully there's no tripping in it. Seems like they're trying to balance the characters pretty well, because they were saying like Bowser kills people at super low percents compared to as before and stuff like that. But you know, don't look at it like I really wish I could wave dash these moves. If the jump moves are laggy, then maybe the game changes a little more ground based and you embrace that. Maybe a different strategy kind of forms in the game. You know what I mean? the best thing about not having a Melee 2 is that you can keep playing Melee.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Right?
Yeah, so that's the best. I mean, you know, obviously I only am a casual Melee guy. It's not a serious thing for me. But certainly from my perspective, I want to see it be a different game. I don't want to see it be the same thing. That's how I am with Street Fighter 2 and whatever other game comes out. I hope MK10 is very different than MK9. I mean, it's just... Right? Like, that's always what I hope, and is often what happens. Right. So, I have a lot of experience adapting to new games. It's something, you and I have done a million times at this point. Right. But it hasn't happened so many times in the Smash community. Right.
Because they've kind of mostly stuck with the one game, right? So.
Yeah, I mean... And a lot of people did adopt Brawl or came in on Brawl, and so there's like this split. Right. I mean, there's not. I mean, obviously, people play both, but there's a split. So you know, anyway, I hope that it'll be different, but we'll see, I suppose. Anyway, as far as MLG goes, with Injustice, it's gonna be not a gigantic tournament. Okay. I think it's still sub 100. Okay. 72. So on Test Your Might, there's a player tracker for people who have signed up. And you have to tell Test Your Might that you signed up. So it's not everybody.
There's a lot more people probably who have entered that haven't made the list, right?
Hopefully so. But 72 people have signed up on this thing. But the thing is that it's almost all of the good players from the West Coast and from the East Coast. Chicago isn't showing up quite as well. 16-bit is coming. But you know, they have some other great players who aren't. But like the main scenes of like SoCal, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Texas is going to be there. And interestingly, also they're going to be the online warriors. Cool. Some of them are coming out. Some of them are coming out, and that's awesome because you know, Injustice Online, it's not like KI Online. It's not terrible, but it's not great. So it'd be really interesting to see if they can adapt. And there's, you know, open question, perfect legend is saying, no way, you guys can't do that. But you know, we'll see. A lot of really interesting storylines. I really recommend going to testyourmight.com, where 16-bit has put up a thread, as he often does, that kind of goes over the interesting storylines. And he talks about individual players, ones to look for, why you should care about them, you know, kind of their backstory coming into this. It's really cool. I love when he does that. Nice. So I definitely recommend going to check that out. Yeah, but I mean, I'll put it in the chat.
A lot of tournaments, when games, like, it usually takes about like 2 or 3 years for games to have this happen to. About 2 years, I would say, because it's happening in Marvel too. But once these games are out, all the tournaments just become so scary because the people who are still playing it are all the people who are still super good at the game. It's like how Marvel 2 was towards, you know, before 2009, and how every Super Turbo tournament you go in there and it's like everyone is just like, you look at your bracket and you're like, it's death, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that this Injustice bracket is like really scary looking and has all like the good players in it, and I think it'll be really cool. So.
Yeah. Killer Instinct, like I said, is also going to be there. I just don't know enough about it, really, to talk about it. I don't know who's coming. I hope that all the top players in that game will be coming. I know that the ones in SoCal will be there. So Justin, I know, is going to be there. For example.
Like, I know Justin's playing. PR Rog is going to be playing. Coming, I think Chris G is going to be playing. So it's gonna, I mean, they're not playing Injustice, right? They're only playing, or is... Like, Flo is going to play Injustice, right? Because he's going with Batgirl, right?
That's what he said a while ago. I don't know if he's ultimately going to follow through with that. We'll see. We'll see. That was definitely a little bit of contention in the NRS scene, whether Flo could, like, just skate through the bracket, you know, with easy Batgirl.
I mean, the worst thing that anybody in the NRS community can do right now is underestimate Flo.
That's what I told him, but we'll see.
He's our friend. I know we're probably a little biased, but I mean, it's just the fact that it's a tournament that is going to hurt Flo, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, if you put Flo into a room with, like, the best NRS players in a casual, like, and you just played with no stream, he would body everybody. Like, I'm sorry, he would, but...
I mean, I don't know if he would sit down and do that, but I do believe that if you put Flo in a room with them for a week, and you say, Flo... You got to do this, and Flo's like, I'm gonna do it. Then he'll do it. Yeah. Then he'll walk out of there, and he's not gonna be beaten. But anyway,
I mean, he got second in Vampire Savior at UFGT 10. He's like man, they've gotten really good. Like these specialists play this game so much. He never plays the game and he got second place, right? So it's just
we'll see. I don't know. It's just it's a funny point that I like ripping on people about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it would actually happen. Anyway, I guess that's it for MLG. I assume it'll be on MLG.TV.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of Smash stories, but again, we're not really abreast of all the drama of Smash and such. So.
And there'll be Dota and whatever. I don't know. Maybe StarCraft will be there. I don't even know.
There's some other non-fighting games there.
Ones that are going to dwarf our scene.
Who cares about these far bigger and more lucrative competitive video game scenes?
Yeah. Well, all right. So break time?
Yeah. All right. Okay. And when we come back, we are going to talk about Wednesday Night Fights versus Next Level Battle Coliseum. All right. Be right back.